It's coming from, a big part of it's coming from the court.
Oh, okay.
You say boy out here?
Yeah, over.
Say on
Inside.
That's lower median. But
Hey, Wes, I'll leave our report like you now.
Might ought to,
that's where.
might ought to step it up over there. Might ought to step it up over there. I'm sure it'll all be done by September.
September
This year.
next year.
I'm not staying.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to come.
No.
It's got brain talk.
But it's not gonna be done.
That ever happened?
Quite often.
Ryan said something about September in here
I
that
said,
he didn't.
Quite often.
yes.
Brain
Well, I read it off because I didn't know if you had it.
No.
That's what I
I
thought.
don't think you gave it.
I'll correct it.
You get it by email.
Yeah,
It'll work all right.
yeah, I'll send it to you.
Send me the email.
Okay. All right. That's,
All right, you second.
It's here.
Yeah, I know. I tried my new central air since the first time. Oh, yeah. Guys, put on, turning it on as long as possible.
I came back later.
This is not a family photo, is it?
No. That's gonna be my family for a while.
I thought so.
Yeah. There's John Hopkins.
Yeah, that's all I know.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No, that's my test man.
We'll call our July the 16th Commissioners meeting order at this time. Everybody would rise, we would ask Morris, Lee, Dave, if you have a pledge after those who so desire, have a moment of silence.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. First thing we'd like to do is our minutes of our July the 2nd. Make a motion to approve the minutes. Thank you, David. So, David made a motion, Bill second, to approve our July the 2nd board, commission board meeting minutes. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous. Cecilia's not with us today, right?
Yeah, she's supposed to be here at
She's
9
supposed
o'clock.
to be here, I hope so, she drove me here. And I don't have anything that I can present to you all until she gets here, so.
Well, we're hoping she'd come. She's been here so many times, we're gonna make her associate commissioner.
It says on the agenda, the only piece of business that she has is to get a contract signed.
Yeah, I've got that. I have that, if you want to go ahead and do that agenda item, or if you want to wait for her, we can wait.
We'll wait for her, because we're gonna make her associate commissioner today. She's been here about 50 times. Susan Green here yet?
No.
So, while we're waiting for some of those illustrious people to show up, Morris Lee, you wanna come up and give us an overview of the fair this year?
Well, we had the fair, we had it a month early. it's ever been. So, moving it forward a month worked out real good for that, because we had the only fair around, and there wasn't one before, there wasn't one that week, and there wasn't afterwards, so people came to the fair. Of course, we did have some rain, we got rained out one night, but our entertainment was all good, and then, of course, we had the mud boats on Friday night, and it held true to the name, it was mud. So, and the same way on Saturday night. But taken as a whole, it did good. There were several people that really liked it because it was early. Got it, their kids could do whatever they wanted to in July and get ready for school. So it went really well from that standpoint. There was naturally a few that didn't like it, but I'd say for everyone that said they maybe didn't like it, there was probably 10 that said they did like it. So, and we're going to have it same time next year, in the last week of June. I signed the contract on Saturday night, so that's the way it's going to be next year. Hopefully it'll be good. We were a little short on some of the produce, but what we had was very good. I mean, it was just really nice produce, so everybody was happy there. Of course, the weather, we did have rain, knocked the lights out one night, but for about 45 minutes, but we got that straightened out. And as far as the heat, well, I couldn't ask for any better time for heat. It wasn't hot, so we think we did really good. We had, I don't know how we have a count on the crowd, but I'd say on Monday night, we probably had a record crowd, and then the other nights were good too.
Most of the time they did adhere to the smoking, non-smoking.
You know, last year, of course, they couldn't smoke in the buildings, and never had a minute's problem with that. And this time, you just didn't see people smoking. You know, I'm sure they were, but of course it was a big crowd, and they went to places. We had the signs up, the designated areas, so they went and smoked there, and so we never had any problem with anybody.
Is it true that you want to dash for the cash this year?
No, no, that's not true. No. I've been dirty a lot in my time, but I'm not interested now.
Of course, the fairgrounds look the best they've looked in years. Randy's done a heck of a job, and the workers over there. The 4-H building, and I guess we need to announce that the rentals changed a little bit because of all the work they've done. And if anybody's ever been in the 4-H building a year ago and then went into it now, you wouldn't even know you was in the same building.
Right.
That is much improved. The fair itself, though, what effect does that have on our 4-H'ers with livestock that go to the state? Is that going to be an issue or not?
Well, I think whenever they get used to that, like this year, it was kind of course, we did that at a late stage, I guess you'd say. But next year, they know what it's going to amount to, and they can have their livestock. But at some point in time, that's basically always been an issue. I mean, you know, whether their animals were too big or too small, and if they show...
Last year, I know they kept their animals here 2 days and then moved them out to the state fair. So it's, you know, it's hard to get a date, I understand that.
That's another thing. Fairs are rapidly changing, and of course, this year we just brought the hogs, and they were just there 72 hours. And I think that's what the state veterinarian had recommended, and it worked very well. I think that in the future, maybe all livestock may do that. You know, they may just come and go like they do at the state fair.
Well, you're a farmer, I'm not, so that's just, that's the only thing I heard was, you know, well, how do you, you know, you go to this fair and you have a grand champion you want to take to the state.
Yeah.
Well, what do? Run it home, take care of it real good, and then run it back, or?
Well, they do that, and then they back off on the feed and try to keep that
Try to
weight.
keep it the same.
Try to keep that weight, or if it's light, then they feed it extra so it will gain. So. Is that all
I
right?
haven't heard anything.
You haven't? Good. Well, you guys were good to help us and do
When's your
things for
annual
us.
meeting?
Pardon me?
When's your annual meeting?
It'd be in October, and seems like the 20th, somewhere along in the 20th. I'll get a hold of you, tell you when it is. You'll get an invite. Other than that, I think it went very
Job
well.
well done.
We, like I said, we had a lot of good help. I had good people behind me. You guys helped, so appreciate it.
Thank you.
Celia,
Yes. Ready for me, huh?
come on up. We just announced we're gonna make you an associate commissioner. This is the 49th time that you've been here.
But
Okay.
you're late, so we decided against this.
Aw.
But then our lawyer's always late, so you're okay.
Oh, well, good. Well, we're gonna do the easy things first. One of the reasons I was late is because I had to pick up a sub-recipient report that was signed, and I now need for you to sign it. This first one is for construction of a new facility to serve individuals. So this is the Salem facility. Every 6 months, we have to do a report, and basically shows that they're still in operation.
Is that the Blue River?
This one is the Blue River Salmon facility. And this one is I think this one is the report for the actual, one we're working on now, for the fire station. And this one is the next thing.
This one, this is later.
This one's for the Blue River Fire District. Okay. The next thing I'm going to present to you, and I'm just actually going to give you a copy, is this is the architect invoice for the Blue River Fire District project. This is from Covert Hawkins Architects in the amount of $52,100. This will be paid with local match funds. I've already informed Blue River Fire District, so as soon as they hear that you've approved this, they are going to get money from the bank and send it to Sarah so that she can pay the bill. That's everything you need to do. I bet you're happy to hear that one. Okay, so the next thing that we are about to do is, at the last meeting, I understand that you awarded the contract to Temple Construction for the Blue River Fire Station project. So at this time, I'd like for John Hawkins to come forward. Has Jason already signed all those?
No.
No, okay. I'll let you take it from there on that.
Yeah, we've got 4 copies of the contract, which need signatures on. Cecilia's read it, and Tom's read it, it's pretty standard stuff. Whoever wants to sign, you need them right there, and then immediately after this meeting, we're going to have the pre-construction. Jason has his bonds.
John, how you doing?
You can't miss it. I didn't know this was good.
You changed the first line.
And then all of the changes that you did. Except the AIA software does not let us take those lines out. We'll get Jason to sign it and then I'll go ahead and
While he is, are you gonna add anything else?
I did have one motion I wanted to make.
I'll let you go ahead.
What we normally do is we like for you to give a motion to allow a designated representative on the commission and the architect to make changes that don't increase the bid price or the contract price. And that allows us to deal with things out in the field without having to wait and come back every month and have kind of a micromanaging process. So whoever you usually like to have one of the commissioners that I can talk to on the roof project, it was John Mishler. So whoever will.
How do we stand on that?
Let's come back to that.
Yes.
Let's give him his motion, if we could. So you're looking for a motion that allows changes to be made?
I need a designated representative. So the first thing I need is a designated representative from the commission.
Phil said he would do it.
And then the next thing I need is a motion that would allow Philip and the architect to approve change orders that don't increase the contract price.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Dave made motion, Phil second, and we approve the proposal by the architect, Nicole Hawkins, John Hawkins, to allow them to work out anything that needs to be done on the project. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous.
Good deal, thank you.
So those for change orders that don't alter the contract price?
Right. Well, don't increase it. We might have a change order that reduced it, but we wouldn't increase it.
Have you finished?
That's it, yes.
Okay. I have two forms that I also need for you to sign. One is a disclosure report. Basically, this is a report. You signed this once before, but it just had River Hills and Colbert Hawkins architects on it. Now we've added Temple Construction. So this is a disclosure to the federal government, just saying that you have a contract. So I'm going to get those. It's just a standard form.
Sorry.
And I have another form here. This is called Certification of Accessibility. This is basically just certifies that all applicable handicap standards and accessibility for the project will be followed, and it has already been signed by the architect. I just want to follow up with the. I think I know your sign, so I can get my pen back.
I was gonna keep that, because everything else we signed in blue, Dave got the blue.
Well, if you need it again, you just tell me. I borrowed Andrea's. The next thing we're gonna do after the commissioner meetings, and that's the pre-construction conference. You'll see several people with projects that are already here. The commissioners are welcome to attend that. If you do not want to attend, please assign a representative. There is just one place to acknowledge that you're aware of what's going on. And I noticed that Mr. Short is here, and Mr. Bowles was here, and so if you want, you can just appoint them as sub-recipients to sign that line. It's just an acknowledgement.
Here.
Mm-hmm. It's up to you.
I can stay.
Okay. All right, well, we'll see you shortly then.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions of me before I go? Any questions? Do you have any questions for me? No?
You're the second woman associate commissioner. Let's see. Sorry. Now, I guess it's okay, we can, now the leaking roof.
Tony called, said he had leaks on the roof, so I got the contractor. We went through, climbed up on everything except the tower, didn't climb up on the tower roof, but he was reporting leaks there. You will recall that the original project for us was to replace the shingles. Then we added a change order that replaced the rubber roof sections, the flat sections. We didn't do anything, had nothing in our contract for the masonry. We reused copper flashing because it was in good shape. There are numerous areas in the masonry that could be causing these leaks. The contractor made a good faith effort. He took silicone caulking and filled a number of holes in the masonry with silicone caulking as a temporary stopgap measure. There was one place where we pulled away some metal covering up the masonry, and there was a hole so big there was a bird's nest in there. That's where the scupper goes through the wall on the outside. So what I told Tony that I would do, so we have contractors saying it's the masonry. We had nothing to do with the masonry project. I can tell you I don't know what the contract on the masonry repointing was, but if the contract was to repoint the entire courthouse, that was not done. There are also places where repointing was done and it's coming out already. And the chimneys, especially the chimney be on the east side, in the right side of that picture.
It wasn't done.
It's in poor shape structurally. It needs to be reinforced structurally. And now you're in a situation where that work needs to be done. It's going to be done over top of a brand new roof. The chimney is not in good shape. So what I've told Tony I'll do is, in order to try and get things off track and make sure that there's nothing on the roof, I'm going to wait until there's a good heavy rain, and I'm going to meet him up in the attic and see if we can identify where these leaks are coming from. I found nothing on the roof that indicates anything would be coming from the roof. Especially in the rubber areas. If the leak is coming through the rubber, you can walk around and step on seams and you'll see little air bubbles that'll pop out. Everything looked tight. And I just didn't see anything that was an obvious place where a leak would be coming through either the shingles or the rubber. It's possible that some of it could be coming from where some of these pipes run inside the wall. From the flat roof sections, you have roof drains that go to little bitty 2-inch pipes And those pipes actually run down inside the wall, through the wall, and then into the attic, and then back out the wall to a scupper that goes down a downspout outside the building. It's possible that where that pipe runs inside the wall, there could be a crack in the pipe where that's leaking. But until we get up there in a good heavy rain and try and see inside the attic where the water's coming from, all of it's just a guess at this point. So that's
plumbing bins?
they're roof drains.
On roof
Tiny
itself?
little roof drains on the flat roof portions
I've seen.
go inside, go down, and then horizontally through the wall, and they're inside the wall, and then they come out in the attic, and then they go back out the wall
Are they,
to the downspout.
are they copper?
They're copper.
PVC?
They're copper.
Tom, you have a contract in your office for that masonry project. You want to check and see if the whole court.
It's the entire exterior of the
Entire.
courthouse.
There are also just,
They know they didn't. That's why they're back. That's why they're doing it now. We called them on it, we threatened them with a lawsuit. They're back. They're there right now.
Right.
there are also several areas, and again, I don't know what the contract is, but there are several areas of the limestone water table around that bell tower where the limestone is deteriorating. It's flaking apart. I don't know what their contract says. To me, that's beyond a normal repointing job because that's the actual stone is starting to deteriorate. It's falling off.
Spalling stone was also part of it.
Yeah, there are two ways that you can fix that, and I've done both of them. One is you can use an epoxy patch. You have to grind out the spall, try and get back to good stone, and you can patch it with an epoxy. It's about as easy to just cut it out and replace the stone. The epoxy's less on material cost, but it's tremendous labor to do that. And you pay for a new piece of stone, but you just cut it out, put it back, and you're done. There are a lot of areas around the bell tower where that's not been repaired, or if it was repaired, the areas that have repaired have fallen off and the spall is back. So, not gonna leave anything hanging out there. I'm gonna get with Tony and stay on it and try and identify the source of the leaks. Okay.
Susan, sorry you had to wait.
Our health board met last Wednesday, and I updated them on the Indiana code that continually increases the, what we pay into the Corners Continuing Education Fund. It just recently increased, 1st of July, up to $2 per certificate that I issue. Every death certificate out of my office, $2 goes into that fund, and it's in it to stay. So, we haven't increased our death certificates since 2007. And so the health board thought that now would probably be the time to make an increase on the death certificate. So they wanted me to come and ask an increase from $10 to $15. Unfortunately.
Well, and that only makes sense. I'll put that in a motion that we go ahead and allow Susan to go ahead and increase from $10 to $15.
Can we make that effective like
We-
August 1st, maybe?
Yeah. Effective August 1st.
Second.
Okay, Dave, proposed to increase the death certificate cost fee from $10 to $15, and Phil second. That'll be a dead issue. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, unanimous.
I think we set these by ordinance,
Yeah.
and so I think what we need to do is instruct me to do a new ordinance and make it effective August 1st. So,
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. First off, I've got a change order. It doesn't take long, but it's a deductive change order to where there was some redundancy on some of the stuff that we looked at in some different ways that RQW said, well, if we do it this way, do it that way, work better, more cost effective. So it's, I don't know, what's it, $20,000 deduct to the contract there on the grant.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it went down instead of.
Oh, yeah, it's down.
I'll sign that.
Okay. But yeah, it's a deductive change order. It changes, it lowers their contract price. Now, I'll have a couple more of those on some of the other contractors by next meeting, but this is the first one. And I don't know if, just need a signature, what we have to do to sign that.
Well, I'm still writing my instructions.
Oh,
I got
sorry.
to do an ordinance and all.
If there's any kind of a motion, they need to approve that or to accept it.
Well, I don't know that there is, but it's certainly, whenever we're insuring something like this, it doesn't hurt to go ahead
Yeah.
and do the motion, approve
That's
it,
fine.
and accept it. So it's basically a deductive order.
I'll make that motion. We go ahead and approve this change order.
Second. Thank you. Those in favor of the change order, raise your right hand. Unanimous.
And you're gonna have the next month, or 2 months, in,
What's that now?
we're gonna have Christmas in the New Year. September.
What was it? Yeah,
Yeah.
in 3 months.
3
You
months.
might want to step it up.
Gonna step up the progress here. But, no, but I've given you some pictures here. It's just some progressive pictures, you know, every day, 2 days, pictures, but you can, even in this, you can see the progressive change in the height of the fill. We're bringing in approximate, our goal is 100 loads a day. And on good dry days, we've been exceeding that. We're targeted about 12 to 1,300 tractors, dump truck loads of dirt. So if that, I mean, we're putting in, like I said, 100, give or take, a day. Dirt's coming from a couple places, but the majority of it's coming out of the quarry. If you look back here, there's several pictures here that shows the process. This, of course, this is the test guy, and they've got a machine there that they put down. They probe down into the ground, and the soil is testing very good on moisture. Compaction is 100% plus on everything so far. And we'll have reports on all that. So, but as they go, they test it every 8 inches as they lift it up. And if you look at this picture, you can see what they've done. It's a process they call benching. You know, they've got it where it steps up, and they fill, and then they step it up again, and fill it, and step it up again. So that kind of is how they kind of keep it on a level plane and all such as that. But a lot of trucks in and out. We're trying to be as careful and cautious as we can with the roads and the neighbors and everything to, you know, the protection of all the people, local. Yes, sir.
And then you said yesterday, on top of that, you can't see, you can see the white, but there's a piece of black on sticking off.
Yes, sir.
And that's gonna be still 4 feet, there'd be a 4-foot piece added on to that for the
Yes,
start.
should be, yes. From where they're at right now, I'm going to say 8 to 10 foot higher right now to where it is. And once it comes up to that spot, then there's these monitoring plates that are put in, you know, down on solid surface down below. And then they've got the pipe, and then of course then there's the PVC on the outside of it to where it doesn't. The settlement of the dirt won't affect the steel pipe that's on the inside. All right, and then once it's brought up to grade, then there's a 30-day monitoring period to where we monitor for settlement. And the loading of that dirt, you know, I mean, we're compacting and rolling, compacting, but the really still, no matter what we do, there'll still be a minimal amount of settlement, I'm sure, because of the loading of the dirt and the weight of the dirt. It's just very,
So at the end of the, where the period is, of the 30-day waiting period, is anything going to be done anywhere on the grounds during it?
we'll be doing things off sewer lines, water lines, fire lines, anything around that doesn't affect the pad.
Okay.
You know, we'll be working in other areas, yes. It'll not be a
What do you
complete,
say, Gordon, Barry?
a big portion of it's coming from the quarry over on the west side, you know. And Kim Temple wants to do all the hauling of the dirt, and then he's got another borrow pit out, Martinsburg Road here. I'm assuming it's on some of his land, but it's very, very good material. Moisture, like I said, the moisture's good in it. It packs in really, really well. It's clean, just good red clay. Imagine that.
Will it look like this?
Yeah, so it's really good material. But anyway, we're with some good weather. You know, the first week of July was pretty tough. You know, we're trying to get going, get rolling with it. But since then, we've made good progress. And although I mean, in times it might be dry here, but our access road or our haul road coming out of the quarry or something might have to be reworked or for whatever reason from a rain overnight or something of that nature. So that kind of hinders us a little bit. But,
How high would you say your 100 trucks is bringing it up per day? How many inches?
I'm going to say, I'm going to guess a couple feet, maybe.
2 feet?
Yeah, depends on the area, but, you know, it's, because it's spread out over such an area, it's
Right.
hard to really gauge, and, you know, like I said, we're bringing it up on those benches and those lifts, 8 inches across to where it'll all be brought up. And then, once it's brought up to the finish, we get this brought up to our grade, then they'll take the big pile of topsoil that's there up against the building, then they'll relocate it out on the slopes. And then we'll do the cut and fill back up against the building. So we try to do that rather than to handle that, haul it off-site, or, you know, we're gonna have to handle it twice no matter what we've done, but it was just try to minimize that. Like I said, test reports, as this site work gets done, the weather will be less impactive on the project and on the schedule of when, you know, once that's done, because, you know, again, getting the dirt in on the site, get it placed. Dave, once we get the site up to plane there, it'll be approximately 11 to 12 months from that point. You know, and we're kind of at the mercy of the weather at this point, but like I said, you know, we're pushing hard on that. But that's about, so it's going to be next summer, so you can run on September.
It's a year old.
Yeah. I'm going to be on the rest of this week, early next, I'm going to be bringing in some more storage trailers and tool trailers and stuff. And we're going to use some of the areas that are out in on the east side of the jail, off the grass, areas that will be reworked and stuff. But, you know, we're going to have to use some areas over there for access because, I mean, it's so limited on the construction side that, you know, we're just going to have to go back here. And we'll stay out of the way as much as we possibly can. But with that, and again, I'll try to update you with pictures and reports. I'll be at every meeting, but once a month, I'll bring pictures and just so you can start a scrapbook or whatever you want to do with it. All right?
Thank you, Les.
Okay, and they are, if you look on there down the bottom, the colors, they are dated, so you can kind of keep a little bit of a history on it.
Got 6 weeks to finish the project.
Well, I better get busy then. What's he doing this afternoon?
It's September 13th.
Yeah, he better be getting on it.
Thank you, Les.
Thank you all. Give you a copy of this. And then I'll
stack of, stuff
There.
here.
Your phone.
Oh, is it ringing?
Nothing.
I've been back together. At least it wasn't quacking.
Yeah, the Duck Dynasty.
Yeah.
Who brought these in? Oh, is this from the highway department?
Would you, boy, this
Are
supposed to
these
be bids
bridge-
open up
Are
today?
these bridge inspection bids?
I have no idea.
I don't either. It was in my office, they came to my office.
I believe that they are the letters of interest for bridge inspection. They were due July 10th.
Okay, so the due date's passed. You happen to know Gerald, Pam's the one that would know, wouldn't she? Well,
That'll be reviewed and scored.
I know, but if the date is passed, I'm asking if the date's passed. I don't want to open them unless the date has passed.
Oh,
The date
yes,
is
I have that.
July 10th.
July the 10th.
13, 14.
Okay.
Yes, I saw that on
All
there.
right, we've got 4. First one is from Butler, Fairman, and Super. We've got 3 copies, and I guess what I'd like, this firm, this Butler, Fairman, and Seufert, S-E-U-F-E-R-T. What we do is we score these on a scoring sheet and by a scoring committee. And in the past, the commissioners have done it themselves, but it's not mandatory that you do it yourself. You could appoint a scoring committee, but I just want to point that out. So, first one we have is I'm sorry, the second one we have is from Bill Coons from Jansen and Spons Engineering. Indianapolis.
Where was that one from?
Indianapolis. And Beam Longest and Neff.
Indianapolis too.
They've done ours before, yeah, Castleton Road, Indianapolis. Does your iPad cut open boxes too?
It does everything. You just gotta be smart enough to know how to operate it. Except get an email up here. How you do it Christmas time?
Well, I don't know, I mean, I was gonna make a joke about this thing being taped shut by an engineer instead of a gift wrapper, but I won't. This is, from Leo Rumschlag. Sorry.
Yeah, we love you too.
Yeah. This last one's from Leo Rumschlag, who did our last bridge inspection. And Beam Longest and Neff had done the one prior to that, but Leo's Rumschlag's done the last 2, and then before that was Beam Longest and Neff. So, it's up to you all to appoint the same to yourselves again as the scoring committee, or you can handle that however you want. But what it appears we advertised a request of 3 copies. Historically, I presume that because we always have the commissioners do the scoring.
Trade the contract in.
It's up. We have, the present one, so Leo, I think you have submitted the final.
So it actually runs through May of next year.
Okay. through May of next year.
May, June, something like that. The contract's not very clear on that, but it's about May or June.
And I think because we generally just cover the statutory requirements of, I don't know if you want to, but basically, it's been a 2-year deal twice.
Yes.
I mean,
It's a 4-year contract.
So 4-year contract.
But because of the administrative hassle with getting through NDOT, you're right on schedule right now for getting a new
Selecting
contract.
a new one for the next inspection. But we have the final report from our last one. Yeah, so,
I'm essentially done.
right, so when I say the contract's done, I mean, the work's completed, essentially. I mean, we're about done. And the way it works is every 2 years, we have to have a new inspection and report done on 2-year intervals. So we're completing our 4-year cycle inspection reports. And now we've got a new one that we'll have to do starting next year. So, who of y'all, why don't y'all agree to just take one each and we'll get a scoring sheet. Oh, yeah, no, you don't do it now. Yeah, we've got,
No.
this is his first one, so no, you take this, you do this on your own.
Actually, what we could do is have one commissioner and a couple other people do the scoring. Maybe some county people to do it. Right, Tom?
That's up to you all. I mean, say historically, the 3 commissioners have done it. But I'm pretty confident the scoring committee does not have to be 3 commissioners. The idea being, I mean, if you've been involved at all in the bridge inspection, communication with the people doing bridge inspection in the past, like the highway department, it'd be helpful to have someone who's
I would volunteer for that. We use acting superintendent and our administrative assistant and the county to go ahead and score these bids. You gentlemen will report back. If I remember correctly, the past 2 years, every 2 years that we fill out these things, we get them all filled out and we score because it is kind of complicated on the score sheets that the state has produced. And so then we end up spending about 3 months trying to get the correct ones turned back in where they're approved. And I think really it's a waste of time. You know, let's score these things and get it done and quit just continually redoing and redoing and redoing. I would make that recommendation. Turn it over to you. Yeah. Joe and.
So who's gonna do the
And it
scoring?
only makes sense to use.
we don't know yet. There's a recommendation they're discussing it, so it's not been
But
decided.
to me, it only makes sense to, you know, when I've been out with Gerald and Leo, and we drove around and looked at bridges and everything, it only makes sense to use somebody that's familiar with these bridges and knows what's going on, you know, such as our county people that's actually out there on the road. It just don't make sense that way.
Well, I think county people who've been involved in a bridge inspection process before and dealt with the engineering firm and the repairs or things that have to be done as a follow-up.
So I would help with it and make a recommendation.
That's fine. So go ahead and make the motion.
And I'll put that into a motion.
That the scoring committee be David Brown, Gerald Shanks, and Pam Hasty.
Right.
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Anything else, Tom?
Nothing for me.
Bill?
now. You got, Bill, said you're new, you can still review all of them.
Will do.
So if you have any questions or anything to ask. County Highway, we had, as soon as we get around to Gerald, I'm on the call on Gerald now anyway. County Highway Department, we had an employee retire Thursday.
That's correct.
Carl Reagan.
That's correct.
It's been suggested, and I think it's a good idea, and I think you might even mention it too, that we not replace that position. What we'll do, Carl's function was working with the other operator into a bucket truck to go put up signs
Sign detail.
or whatever. It's a sign detail. The suggestion I have is we not replace that employee, but if we have a sign that needs to be established in a certain district, that the supervisor take one of their employees, put it with the bucket truck driver, and go out and replace it, and just go ahead and let it run that way. Is that agreeable to you?
I believe that'll be fine.
I think it would too. So, Tom, do we need a motion if we not do that? No.
Anything else? Sarah? Anybody in the audience got anything important you'd like to bring forth this time?
I might give you an update on the bridges. The one on Cobble, Tipples has done the testing on the beams. They're starting back now with welding, some brackets on, and they'll be painting after that. And hopefully have it open for school, which starts August 5th. Kind of fair to the world. And then the Cobble, or the Duxbury, I started putting rock back in it yesterday. I hope to have the north side done today. And hopefully Wednesday and Thursday to have the south side done. With the rock going back in for both approaches. It's going to take about 450 tons to put that back in there. I need to get a little break on the price. This is such a big project. I think it's going to be, when we get it done, it's going to be pretty nice. Much worried about any more clay in that area.
That road's been closed, right?
Yes, it is closed. We're doing some major tree trimming out through there. I don't know if you've ever been that way, but all past Maddox's shop out there is all road over. We're going to open that up while the road's closed. Because when it's open, you just can't do anything. Traffic just burns you up out there. So we're doing a lot of that on that road now also. Hope to have it all there again, open for school, all blacktop and everything.
Anyone else? Not entertain a motion to accept our payroll and claims.
Oh, I do, I'm sorry.
No.
The only thing I have today is just claims, because we did our payroll last time.
I'll make a motion, Phil. Second. All those in favor of accepting that?
Raised by hand. Unanimous?
Okay. John, he just needs to sign that. What last? I have from Harrison County, I have the interlocal agreement on the riverboat share revenue. Somehow, when Karen sent, we did not get one signed for last year, so she went ahead and sent it so it could be on the records to sign. But I also have the one for this year also to sign. And that was last year's and this is this year's for the our part on the riverboat.
This isn't the riverboat.
Yes, Harrison County.
It's the Harrison County.
Uh-huh.
State share.
No, this is Harrison County.
That's 2%.
Yes, it's the 2%.
Well, the year's over, I'm gonna try to set up something down there thanking them for 2%.
I make a motion to go ahead and approve the interlocal agreement with Harrison County.
Second.
I want third that.
All these things fine. No, they- Oh, I guess just John.
All those in favor, raise your right hand.
Here, that's not signed.
Here, we can sign it.
That's not signed.
Here, sign it.
Gary Davis is one of the building code for the office. He's supposed to be down here with a shovel, take down there to him. She's gonna be good.
Okay, I have another one there that's,
Anybody has anything else?
I do, I have one more thing, but make sure this is signed.
This is signed.
I've got a, from Scott County, it's a GIS data exchange agreement, which we have done with other, between Washington County and Scott County. The Scott County Commissioners have signed it, and we need to agree or motion to approve for the document to sign.
Second.
Made a motion, Dave second, approve the agreement with Scott County. Those in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous.
That's all I have there. That's all
Ben, anything from the county council?
Budget hearing starts next week, towards the end of the week, so.
Are you all aware you need to replace Lane Freiberger on the plan commission? I think David is.
David might be his first
I
time.
hope there's two.
But it's a council,
It's a council.
your position, your
Right.
plan.
It's the one that you all designate or appoint. It doesn't have to be.
Well, Dave, probably get that on the agenda to,
It is on the agenda, I give it to Michelle, or
Okay.
I've already put it on your agenda.
okay. I'll be in contact with him. I think he's still on vacation. Dave is right now. But I'll text him on a couple issues.
Well, if it's on, I know he knows it, I just didn't know, so as long as it's on the agenda,
Well, he's,
there's people working on it.
right.
I know that.
Yes, it's on the agenda, I
I
put it
just want to
on.
make sure it got officially addressed and not just worked on behind the scenes.
Correct.
Propose that name today.
No, that's a column, David.
Okay, if there's nothing else to come forward, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second.
Dave? All those in favor of adjournment, raise your right hand. Unanimous. unanimous. Thank you very much.